We gon' celebrate your party with you. Come on now. Celebration. Let's all celebrate and have a good time. Celebration. We gon' celebrate and have a good time. It's time to come together. It's up to you. What's your pleasure? Everyone around the world, come on! It's a celebration. Celebrate good times, come on! It's a celebration. Celebrate good times, come on! Let's celebrate. There's a party going on right here. A dedication to last throughout the years. So bring your good times and your laughter too. We gon' celebrate and party with you. Come on now. Celebration. Let's all celebrate and have a good time. Yeah, yeah. Celebration. We gon' celebrate and have a good time. It's time to come together. It's up to you. What's your pleasure? Everyone around the world, come on! It's a celebration. It's a celebration. Celebrate good times, come on. Let's celebrate. Come on now. Celebrate good times, come on. Let's celebrate. We're gonna have a good time tonight. Let's celebrate. It's alright. We're gonna have a good time tonight. Let's celebrate. It's alright, baby. We're gonna have a good time tonight. Let's celebrate. It's alright. We're gonna have a good time tonight. Let's celebrate. It's alright. Celebrate good times, come on. Celebrate good times, come on. It's a celebration. Celebrate good times, come on. Come on and celebrate tonight. 'Cause everything's gonna be alright. Let's celebrate. Celebrate good times, come on.
Oh, fun. I also have my tiara,
Happy
but it kind of
birthday!
hurts.
Welcome, Sonder family. You are officially at Party Central tonight with your Silk and Sonder family. We are so glad that you are here. I'm Jennifer Ogilvy. I'm one of the facilitators that has the opportunity to present and work with you as we, dive into our beautiful journals, our Silk and Sonder family. Y'all are so, so special. So I'm coming to you from the Dallas, Texas area. And then the other facilitator on the call tonight is the fabulous Maya Martin Glenn, who, as you know, resides in Colorado. She's hanging out in the chat with you, dropping all kind of fun icons and like woo woo, raising the roof in the chat. And then we are so honored to welcome our Silk and Sonder founder. Happy birthday to your first baby, Meha
Yes.
Agarwal. We are just so excited to celebrate with you.
I'm
And
so
thank you
excited. I
for,
think this might be, Jenna, this might be our sadly, our first time celebrating Silk and Saunders' birthday with the
I,
wider Sonder fam, which is absolutely ridiculous. But I think it's unfortunately the reality when you're just go, go, go. You're like, next year, next year. And this year I was like, we're freaking doing it. Like we are
you've
doing
been
our
busy
birthday
creating,
party.
man. So, Sonder family, we welcome you. If there's anybody joining us for the first time, please put me in the chat so that this community can give you a big O welcome. And just that reminder, we want to make sure your chat is set to everyone. We're going to be doing a lot of sharing and celebrating with each other tonight. So make sure that you see your name to everyone. This is being recorded, and because it's an exclusive, you're going to receive an email with that exclusive link that you'll be able to access this later if you want to rewatch or catch some of the fun stuff that we're sharing tonight. So, without further ado, let's get this party started. Mayha, we have a fabulous
Wow,
graphic
this
for
is.
you to kind of get things rolling and tell us about that little bit or a little bit about the folks, the pictures that we see here
Yeah.
that
What
inspired.
I
Yeah,
love when my team puts this type of stuff together because it's a humbling reminder of how far we've come. And I think most of the Sonder fam, you've probably read my email or my posts on LinkedIn and Instagram, but it's so wild that yesterday I celebrated Anaya's first birthday, and today I'm celebrating Silk and Saunder's seventh birthday. I mean, if that's not weird universe coincidence that both my babies are like a day apart from each other, I don't know what else is.
I love a
But
serendipitous
I
moment.
do too. Yes. And many of you know that Silk and Sonder, even though it's our seventh official birthday, that's how we celebrate it. When I went full time on Silk and Sonder, Silk and Sonder was a little itty baby, even as a nights and weekends project. And we actually started this company with saddle stitch journals. So kind of like our Sonder Kids journals. And I still remember it was a side project, and those journals that you see at the top left, that was kind of the vibe back then, and everything was very different. And I know we have a lot of members of the Sonder fam who really appreciate the variety in covers. But as Silk and Saunders growing, I want our brand to feel cohesive, consistent, and I still appreciate that, but it also gives me a little bit of the cringe. But one month I just decided let's just surprise the Sonder fam and send them gold Wiro, thinking nothing of it, because it adds to the cost. It was probably a silly idea in retrospect. Well, everyone loved it, and so we kind of had to stick to it from then onwards. And so that's why that's the story behind our gold Wiro. It was a fun experiment that our printing press wanted to, try. And I didn't think that it would be a big deal. And of course, now, if we were to take that away, I think a lot of people would be upset. And then you see me literally taking Silk and Saunders. I still remember everything used to fit in one little rolly, and eventually it was boxes like this. And in New York City, USPS didn't come, like they didn't deliver on their promise. They would tell us they'd come pick up. I would wait and wait and wait. They wouldn't pick up. I'd call them. They'd say they're coming tomorrow. They wouldn't come. And so eventually you just do what you got to do because we've got a dated planner, AKA a perishable good. And I didn't want to deal with angry customers asking me, where's my journal all the time. So I literally would take bell carts from the lobby of my apartment building and go several blocks to USPS. And USPS used to shout at me because as we were growing, they said, you cannot bring that many orders into our, I mean, I don't think they're legally allowed to say that, but they said it anyway. So they were extremely angry. If you're a New Yorker, or someone that's a New Yorker, we wear our emotions, on our sleeves. So I
I
got a
can
little bit
just
of
see
a,
you like commandeering that
yeah, totally. Well, you know
and
what? I
rolling down the
actually
sidewalk. You had a mission to complete.
100%. And believe it or not, I forced my way into the back of USPS's offices, which is like unheard of. But I wanted to make sure that my journals were put in their carts that were going to go out that day because I knew otherwise they would just be stacking there and then people would receive their journals late. So you do what it takes. And anytime you experience a Silk and Sonder customer care issue, remember the founder has been through it and we do everything we can to make it work for our members. So that's a fun story around that. And then you see pictures of community, which is near and dear to my heart. It's like the surprise that I didn't know that I was gifting myself when I started Silk and Sonder. I didn't know that I would have a community that would give so much back to me, and my mission. And that's been so amazing to see. And, not just virtually in moments like this, but in real life. And so this year, if you are somebody who wants to lead an in real life Sonder circle, just email our team so we can help, bring you the email addresses of people in your area with their permission, of course, so that you can create that moment for yourself, because there's no fam like the Sonder fam. That's
For
for sure.
sure.
And then everything else you see here, Elevate Planner, Sonder Kids, sticker sets, sticker subs, like all these products were just born out of either a need that our customers had or an opportunity that we saw. Sonder Kids, everyone was like, "Oh, you don't have time to, like, deal with another market, etc." And I was like, well, the kiddos are at home with their parents. Like, we need some activity for them to do. And it's one of my favorite products, and actually underrated products at Silk and Sonder that a lot of people don't even know about. And then, yeah, there's me at QVC, there's me with Gretchen Rubin, there's me at the Psychology Association conference. Like, there's been so many special moments that this is just super nostalgic to look at. I can't wait to see this 7 years
And
from
I'm
now.
looking, I'm seeing, like, I see Maya's in-person meetup. I see
Yes.
my in-person meetup and Bailey's in-person meetup.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. So some of you may see yourself in some of these this little collage here tonight,
Yeah. And if
because
you're not yet in this collage, this is your year to make it happen.
that's right. You might be the one who does that. So I love seeing that history. I still think it's so fun. We've seen that picture of you pushing that bellhop
Oh, yeah.
in all the social media stuff, and it's fun to hear the story of you, pushing your way through the get out of my way post office.
Yeah.
We got
Seriously.
stuff to
We got stuff to do.
we got stuff to do. So we thought tonight that it would be a lot of fun to do a little Q&A with Meha, give you guys the opportunity to sort of hear about that passion, a little bit about the product and all that good stuff. So I'm going to stop sharing for just a few minutes, and I'm going to ask Meha some very riveting questions. I get to play
Oh,
my
gosh.
investigative reporter self tonight.
Uh-oh.
So let's dig in, Meha, a little bit more. Tell us about the season of life that led you to start the amazing Silk and Sonder.
Oh, thank you, Jenna. I'm really excited. And by the way, Sonder fam, if you have questions along the way, maybe if we get a little time at the end, we'll answer them. So if anything we don't cover with Jenna tonight, you can pop it in the chat. So, season of life, I was in my mid 20s, and many of you have heard this story of me being the eldest daughter, eldest child to Indian immigrants, constantly chasing gold stars. I started my career as a software engineer at Goldman Sachs, joined Stitch Fix. That was on the verge of going public. So, I'd moved to San Francisco by this time. I was dating my then boyfriend, now husband, Kunal. You all know him. And I had really created this life that looked amazing from the outside. So much so that my girlfriends were kind of fed up of me complaining, because they were like, you are doing fine. Like, just be positive. And when you're going through kind of this phase, when someone tells you to just be positive and, like, count your blessings or be grateful, it's like even more hurtful to hear that, because then you feel guilty, but then you can't really place your finger on it. And now, knowing everything I know about burnout, I was just extremely disconnected from my purpose. And it was a mix of my personal journey as I was kind of going through. I was also, like, working on a different side project at the time, and that wasn't going anywhere, despite me reading all the business books and psychology books and all of that. So it was my own journey that led me through, personal growth in all the ways, shapes, and forms. I was doing a ton of research and reading around gratitude and positive psychology and therapy techniques, as well as personal development frameworks, books like The One Thing, Essentialism, a lot of things out there. And grudgingly, I brought pen to paper because meditation just didn't work for my brain. I was like, this is boring. I can't get myself to sit still. So I brought pen to paper grudgingly, with literally a 5-minute practice. Three things I'm grateful for, even though it felt very hokey. When I started, I would roll my eyes. I still remember I'd roll my eyes and I would write the roof over my head, hot water. Like, it was really basic, but that's really the place that I was in. And it felt weird to talk about anything else. So I did that. Three things I want to accomplish. And then this was really key for me, and anybody who has, like, racing thoughts in the morning or feels a little anxious or stressed, I highly recommend it. But I'd write three things that are making me anxious. And I would write a little arrow about like, what if, like, how do I turn this into a positive? And just by doing that, my emotional, like my entire mindset completely shifted. And I started to have conversations with my girlfriends. And this is the part of the story I don't always tell because like usually it ends up rambling like this. But I would talk to my girlfriends and I had seen this with my own mom where she was passionate about things but never wanted to monetize it or never wanted to like pursue her passions as work. And I saw this same thing happening with women of my generation. And I was like, this is ridiculous. So and so is really passionate about this particular cause. So and so is really passionate about interior design. And it was making me really angry that women are multifaceted, multi-passionate, just so amazing and creative and, smart and intelligent. And we just subscribe our lives to autopilot. We step into someone else's definition of success and we just forgo all of our hobbies and interests. And I've read The Artist's Way and how creativity can unlock so much when it comes to positive mindset, healing, productivity, that I wanted to build a tool that combined creativity, productivity, and reflection into one and have community as part of it because women uplifting women in a world where we tear each other apart was just like what I wanted the world to have. And so that's really the season of life. It was kind of this painful disconnection from purpose and then amplified pain, seeing everybody around me also kind of living that life on autopilot that I just felt like we needed to fix. And quite frankly, it's as simple as pen to paper. And so that's really where it all started.
For sure. Thank you for answering that because I know many folks can resonate with that. You were talking about, your friends saying, you've got everything with it's almost like when I would be upset and somebody said, well, just breathe,
Oh my gosh.
just breathe, you'll be
Yeah.
fine. It's
Yeah.
like, wait, you don't get
Yeah.
it. So
Yeah.
thank you. I
I'll
think we
breathe
can
on your
all,
face right now. No, just kidding.
right, we can
Yeah,
all
it's
resonate
true.
with
It
that.
is very
So,
true. Like now that
right.
I'm in it, I understand the impact of calm nervous system. But when you're like going through
When
it,
you're
it's
not calm and somebody says, just calm down.
yeah. Oh,
Um,
oh, I learned
so
that, Jenna, by the way, when my dad would tell my mom to calm down,
yeah,
it
that
had
never
the
works, right, ladies?
opposite effect. Yeah.
I think we've all been there. Like, oh, why didn't I think of that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you started journaling consistently, what was like your one big surprise aha moment?
I felt like I could operate even if nothing I wrote about had to do with my upcoming day, I just was clear-headed. I could immediately stop the heart palpitations and the like racing thoughts I would wake up with. And I still have it, in various seasons of my life, like, now that I'm a new mom and going through all these things and carrying the mental load, I still wake up with that's when my mind is sharpest, but also when it's, really going and just writing things down brain dumping, feeling grateful, it just calms me and I can approach every decision with clarity, which is really, really helpful for me.
I love that. So then I want you to think about like your personal routine
Mm.
and gals who are with us tonight, think about your personal routine. How has your routine changed since you first started
Oh, great question
building
and great
Sonder?
timing. When I first started, and you see this in the product itself, right? It's not really, despite what people say, it's not really just a guided journal. There is a lot of tracking in there. There are productivity frameworks in there. A lot of the Sonder fam uses the one thing for the affirmation box, but the real origin story of the one thing is productivity based. It's the one thing that you can do today such that by doing it, everything else becomes easier or unnecessary. So I had taken a lot of elements from productivity and focus related books because I was in a season of my life where output and performance meant everything, right? I was pivoting away from my first startup idea into Silk and Sonder, and I wanted the mechanism of a bullet journal, getting shit done. Like that was the focus. And so a lot of my trackers were the habit tracker was relatively done, but like mood, sleep, a lot of that I would often leave blank. Instead, track podcasts I'm listening to or books I'm reading, a lot of that gold star chasing. Ever since I would say, like when I got through the first couple months of postpartum, how I use my Silk and Sonder today is so different. Like I actually make time for the journaling activities. I actually sit down and plan my week on Sunday because when I don't, my entire week is just hijacked, right? So it's a lot more intentional, I would say. And I've started to track things like sleep and moods and habits and meals because it all works together. And so while the intention has always been to do it all, I would say I would use it more as just a productivity tool. And now I'm using it as this holistic well-being and productivity tool. And I think managing my energy has become way more important than just managing my performance and what I get done.
Sure, that makes a lot of sense. And you went from like this career gal, right, where productivity was so important, and now you've discovered your authentic self through taking that
Totally.
time. And so you know it's more, it's not just productivity, it's that
Yeah.
mind, that body, that spirit that,
Totally. And it's the trust, right? Like now I know a calm nervous system and making time for creativity. I mean, literally canceling meetings and thinking about what is the next thing I want to build for Sonder Coach or Silk and Sonder Journal Line. Like that process of creation is productivity. And like I think I never used to see it that way. So now in my tracker, I have a lot more things around hydration, calm nervous system tools, like all of those things that just never used to be there before.
well, what would you say you are most proud, like your top moment of pride from the last 7 years? What would that be?
Honestly, probably launching the first version of Sonder Club, which was a Facebook group. And I don't know if everyone knows this, but I launched it because I was feeling very lonely. I was fundraising. I had taken a huge bet on myself. I had $2,000 in my bank account. I had a cousin who'd somehow managed to screw up my credit score. I had just moved in with my boyfriend and I was really scared financially and I couldn't go back. I didn't want to go back to my parents and ask for anything because I knew that they would push me towards something else. And there I was. I remember it was May of 2019, I think, and I didn't have a single check from an investor despite being at it for a few months full time and seeing my checking, account deplete. So I created Sonder Club because I wanted to be able to get to product market fit quickly. I wanted to be able to grow my company and I just needed support. And I remember sharing, every day I would pop in, I'd ask a question, but I'd also share my own struggles of like fundraising being hard. And the Sonder fam just pumped the shit out of me. And I like that is what gave me the confidence that I was building something bigger than myself. And beyond that, seeing the support everyone had for one another, seeing the vulnerability that took shape and form. And I didn't realize it then, but now I realize it now that I was the one who created a space during the pandemic through multiple election cycles for people to coexist with different views, religious, social, political, and to still accept one another and see the similarities and be kind. And that was the beginning of Sonder Club. And truly, I want to bring some of that essence back in Sonder Club. Sonder Club is not supposed to be this place where we just complain or like, kind of talk about only our problems. It's a space to celebrate our wins. It's a space for us to share what we have to offer. And like there's so much richness in that. But if I never started that Facebook group, I never would have built Sonder Club into our app. And I'm so glad I did because this community is it's not like anything I've ever seen before. And
Right.
I will say one thing on that, like, I don't know if Kimberly L is here with us tonight, but I see her post on the Pen Pal group. She's here. I like it is things like that where I'm like, this is not just a group of women. This is a group of women who are creators, who are leaders. We have women sharing tips and tricks about knitting. And then we have this pen pal group. And even though I don't have the time, like my promise is I want to make that within Silk and Sonder's ecosystem. But another part of me is like, who cares if they know how to figure it out? Like, let them create pen pals. And like people just are craving for that analog and connection. And I'm just so grateful that we have members like her and whoever's involved in that to make things like that happen.
I don't think that there are accidents in the universe. I think things align. I'm a big believer in serendipity. That's
Totally.
one of my favorite words. And I find it so fascinating that all you just told us about that, your first community, and then COVID hits.
Oh yeah.
And we find ourselves lonelier than we've ever been. And so I want you to talk about why, what that word loneliness,
Mm,
how that hits you when you hear it and think about this epidemic of
yeah,
loneliness that
totally.
we now have.
When I started Silk and Sonder, it was or when I first started raising for Silk and Sonder, I remember people looking at me like I was riding a trend, right? And the emotional health epidemic was a really hot thing back then. And I was like, I'm not really trying to ride a trend here. Like, unfortunately, this is a real problem. And then COVID hits. And then a couple years ago, the US Surgeon General declared that the loneliness epidemic is a public health crisis for the United States. In fact, 1 out of 2 US adults is classified as lonely. And many of us don't realize we're lonely, right? We're like, we have friends, we have family, we're good. We have Silk and Sonder, we're good. But it manifests itself through emotional health issues, right? You're burnt out a little bit more. You're not feeling like yourself completely, right? And the US Surgeon General they've done a ton of research around this, and being lonely is actually equivalent to smoking 15 cigarettes a day. So you can imagine the physical toll this takes on your body, whether or not you're aware of your own loneliness issues or not. And for me, I kind of realized that we've accidentally built a product and a service and a community and a platform that is the solution for the loneliness epidemic, right? The only way you can feel more connected to the world around you is if you feel connected to yourself. And the only way you can feel connected to yourself is to have clarity into who you are, what you want, how you get there, being resilient when life throws lemons, how to kind of navigate. And this is really a muscle that we're building here at Silk and Sonder. And to have such a tight-knit, supportive, uplifting community on top of that. I mean, I even wrote to the US Surgeon General and his team and said Silk and Sonder is the solution to the loneliness epidemic. If you'd like to showcase us on your website, and they applauded us on the work that we were doing, but for whatever reason they didn't add us to the website. So we're recognized by them, but I think my point is, of all the solutions I've seen out there, Silk and Sonder is one of the few products and services that is not just solving the loneliness epidemic, but we are creating a mechanism for us to all live happier, healthier, and longer lives. And now longevity is a trend, right? We're talking about going on our weighted vest walks and drinking water and like doing all these things for our physical health. That's amazing. But what about your mental well-being? Who cares if you live a long life if you're not living a full life, right? And Silk and Sonder is also doing that. And so I think for me, I'm very passionate about these things, not because it's a trend that we're chasing, but when you build a company from heart and you recognize a real problem, you're actually solving a world health crisis, or many of them.
For sure, for sure. Well, to tag on to that, you recognized the need for maybe a little bit of an extension into being our best versions of self, and you created Coach.
Yes.
Let's talk about that. Why is that so important to you?
Yeah, it's so interesting. I feel like my entire life, starting with my parents and then teachers and then managers and then investors and advisors, everyone has told me to focus. Are you a journal company? Are you a community? Are you a networking? Are you a social network? Like in the early days, it was like,
Yes, yes,
why?
yes.
Yeah, exactly. And then now we have this, this digital, I mean, we already had our mobile app, but this amazing, powerful platform that can leverage generative AI, but bring in our human first kind of code of conduct, if you will. Like, to me, what I think is missing from all of the digital noise out there is human first solutions when it comes to personalizing mental wellness and personal growth. And I think what bothers me is how much effort it takes to use ChatGPT or Gemini to get it to feel personal to me. Like, it does a good enough job if you like, ask it a couple questions, but it doesn't house everything about me in the same way that Sonder Coach is able to do. And then I think about the richness of what everyone is writing in their journals, or what everyone is struggling with in not writing in their journals. And I'm like, well, Sonder Coach can help with this, right? I want Sonder Coach to be that trusted platform that you go to when you feel an ounce of fear or doubt. And it just explains to you beautifully that these are your strengths, these are your blind spots, this is how it manifests, this is how your limiting beliefs manifest, this is what your true purpose is all about. And it's like your like control panel, right? Like this is your GPS. This is your human operating system. And then I just, we're still tweaking this because I just don't think Sonder Coach is exactly where I want it to be, which is good news for everyone who's already loving it. But I just, going back to that longevity topic, to me, the journal is amazing, but it's still self-navigated. So I think of Sonder Coach as that personal trainer in your life where you really can leverage it to personalize for you no matter what season you're in. If you're going through a breakup, if you're going through a divorce, if you're going through grief, it will tell you based off of everything we know about you how to either work in your journal or do these like daily mental fitness workouts that is going to help you with build that resilience. And so I'm really passionate about it because I do feel like it's my duty. I studied computer science. I'm a software engineer, and I don't know anyone in this world who is as passionate as I am to leverage data science and machine learning and all the technologies that are moving at such a rapid pace in the space of the most important program, which is the human brain and the human, operating system. And I don't need another agent or a tool for like accounting or finance. Like I need it for myself. So that's why I'm really passionate about it. I just don't think anyone's going to do as good of a job as us here at Silk and Sonder.
Right. And I think all of us, we're all, we share this experience together, but it's so different for each one of us. But it meets
Yeah,
us where we are, whether we're new in
totally.
our careers, whether we're bumbling around trying to figure out what retirement looks like, whether we're a
Yeah,
new mom, whether we're a mom who's launching kids. It meets us where we are. And
yeah.
that's what's so beautiful. I'm almost afraid to ask you this question because you'll get so excited and we'll run out of time. But I know. I want to know what excites you most about this next chapter of Silk and Sonder, and also maybe combine that with your birthday wish for Silk and Sonder
Yes.
and the
Okay.
Sonder fam.
All right. So what am I excited? I mean, I think I'm really excited about just this is the year of the fire horse, and I think I've played small. I've talked about this a lot. I've hid behind the curtain. And when I think about what's next for Silk and Sonder, it really is stepping out onto that stage, right? And I saw a comment in here about how Sonder Coach is just AI. It is not just AI. I'm very adamant about that. Maybe the experience feels like that, which is something we can do better. But I am really excited to build this ecosystem of products where anything you use at Silk and Sonder, you feel the gravity of humanity at the forefront. So we're going to be launching what I'm going to call, I don't know if this is the best marketing term, but journal elixirs for each type of thing, right? Grief, abundance and money, healing, vitality, like different specific goals because the rewiring happens with your belief system, right? Silk and Sonder, as it is today, is an excellent tool for building your daily habits and practices and rituals. But we need something that's almost one layer removed, which is your mindset and your brain. So I think I'm really, really excited about the products that we have both in Coach and in the physical journal side to work on belief and mindset stuff. And then my birthday wish, honestly has to do with growth. I say this all the time, but if you've been with Silk and Sonder for a couple years, yes, we've been growing in some ways, but it's been a really challenging time to get the word out there. And one of the biggest challenges that we have at Silk and Sonder that I see year after year is unfortunately, we haven't really nailed it when it comes to the gifting experience. And so I hope that this year is the year where people aren't just using Silk and Sonder for themselves, but they're thinking about a woman in their life who maybe doesn't journal, doesn't plan, will scoff at this, but somehow we can kind of gift that keeps on giving. And I'm so grateful for the folks of Silk and Sonder who have gifted this. But I think it's all of our responsibility to really spread the word of Silk and Sonder because so many of us have experienced the benefits. And I don't know if it's because it's private or what it is, but none of my other friends who work with direct to consumer products have as much of a pain when it comes to gifting Silk and Sonder as we do. So that my one wish is for that experience, referring, gifting, hosting Sonder Sundays and buying some journals and getting people into the rhythm with you. I think that's my biggest wish.
I love that. So, to add to that, then what can our community do to help support that?
Yeah.
Like,
Okay, there's a lot of free ways the community can help us. So obviously, if you can gift,
and not
amazing.
just, not just the company, but like you as a founder and you
Yes,
as a
the
human
mother,
being, what
and
can we
yes.
do?
I think a couple things. One is even if you feel shy, post your story on Sonder Club. I scroll through that every day. I'm craving more kind of updates from people and wanting to know what's going well, what's not. I love reading that. It gives me, it's like instead of checking Instagram, I check Sonder Club every morning. So please share your stories, add me on LinkedIn, add me on Instagram. I think all of us have walked through something in life and we all have something to gain and we all have something to give. And I don't know what that is unless you share with us. So I think that is one ask. For me as kind of a human, I'm very much fueled by the success stories of Silk and Sonder. Also, reviews. Our Trustpilot score is awful. We have Reddit things on us that are just like I understand people get mad, but it's so not representative of what Silk and Sonder's magic is all about and the hard work that we put in. So it's free. If you can support us, like write something nice on Reddit, write something nice on Trustpilot, write something nice in a product review or on the App Store. Those are all great places. We are not a money scamming situation. I mean, if I can make Silk and Sonder free, if there's someone in the community where they can get the government to pay for Silk and Sonder, I will be the first to raise my hand and ask for that. So those are free ways that you can help us. And then me as a human, like I said, I think sharing your story and sharing Silk and Sonder, I think all of that. And you guys already give me a lot of confidence. So maybe you can hold me accountable for launching my podcast this year. I feel like I talk about it every year. So every month, maybe you can throw me a little nugget like, is the podcast launching this month? Because that accountability will help me be more visible and do what I love the most, which is
We'd love
storytelling.
that.
Yeah.
I feel like you're going to be so tired.
You know
Okay,
what? I get energized though by it. And I love talking to like amazing,
for
founders
sure.
and smart people.
For
So
sure. Okay, so y'all heard what the challenge is to go and leave a review and take that time. I always say when things are good, we don't say anything. We only say stuff when we're when we're fussing
yes,
about something. That's just that human nature. So take that time to put that go schedule that in your calendar this week. Okay. Now, we're going to go to some trivia questions in a few minutes, but I have a lightning round. So, Meha, quick
quick. Okay.
responses. One one
I'm
sentence
really good
responses.
at
Okay.
that, guys. No, I'm just kidding.
It's you're excited about your baby, so that's
Yes.
understandable. But we're going to make this really fast. Okay, ready? What is one small habit that you never skip?
Journaling in the morning.
All right. What is your go-to reset when you are overwhelmed?
Also journaling.
Ah, and y'all feel free to drop any of your answers in this too. What's a belief about productivity or success that you've let go of?
That I have to perform and prove myself to be productive and worthy.
What's something a member has shared that you still think about?
Getting off her antidepressants and anti-anxiety pills thanks to Silk and Sonder.
What's a simple joy you make time for now that younger you might have called unproductive?
Morning cuddles with my daughter.
One word to describe Silk and Sonder today and a quick reason why.
Oh, wow. One word to describe Silk and Sonder today. Unstoppable. Because when you show up for yourself, you show up better for everyone around you and you make them unstoppable too.
Awesome. And what kind of world do you hope exists in 50 years from now?
One in which the world feels more vibrant and connected because we're all living more authentic, intentional lives.
I love that. Okay. Thank you for keeping it short and succinct.
I
I
do
always
what they say
tease
what
you
my teacher
about
tells me. No, just kidding.
being so excited.
I know.
All righty. So let me get our slide deck back up here. Hold on one second, friends. And we are now going to get some interacting with you. So we're going to take a little journey down our trivia time. So, the word Sonder means a peaceful practice centered around slowing down and observing your inner world. Or B, a journaling philosophy that helps you uncover your highest self through daily reflection. C, the realization that every single person you pass is living a life as vivid, complex, and emotionally layered as your own. And D, A psychological framework that blends self-awareness with community connection. And I'm seeing the C's popping there. You guys are so smart and you are so right. Yes, the answer is C. We get to see this beautiful statement on every single journal edition that we get. It is right there in the very back of your journal. Yep, Amanda said the very last page. All right, next question. This one was a new one for me, so we'll see if you know. In which city did Mayhaw decide to go full time on Silk and Sonder? A. San Francisco, B. New York, C. Chicago, D. Tulum. Let's see what y'all think. Hmm.
Do you think I stumped them?
I think you gave us
Oh,
Stumper.
I see someone. I see
Oh,
a D in
okay. Are
there.
you ready? D. Tulum. Where? Tell us really quickly.
I was, I had accepted an offer from Bonobos. My husband or my then boyfriend was accepting an offer with another company in San Francisco. And he kind of told me, you've been at, like, what do you have to lose? You've been at it. You keep promising that you're going to personalize Silk and Sonder. You're going to build all these things. Like, what do you have to lose? And when he told me that, I was like, I've built the safety net. I can always go back. So I told, I resigned or I rescinded the acceptance and decided in Tulum over New Year's that I was going to go all in. And then I
Well,
did.
thank goodness. So we could have been just all sitting here with socks on tonight, right? We're so glad. All right, next question. That one was tricky. That one's in Mexico, right? Tulum was in Mexico. Yep. All righty. The next question is which of these Silk and Sonder milestones happened during COVID? Was it A, the first warehouse, B, the first full-time hire, C, fundraising, which would have been crazy during COVID, or D, all of the above? What do y'all think? What do you think? All right, the answer is yes, D, all of the above. You were busy. The world shut down and you revved up. All right, our next question is approximately how many journals have been sold since initial launch? What do y'all think? 100,000, 250,000, over a million, or over 3 million? Ooh, I wish it was D so much. That's so sweet, Radhika. Okay, are y'all ready? Your answer is over a million. Mayha, that number, does it just blow your mind?
It does, but seeing D, I'm like, let's go.
Let's go for D. All righty. Y'all are with it. Let's see. Okay, your next trivia question. How many states has Silk and Saundered shipped to? A 23, B 37, C 49, or D? All 50, 50 nifty United States. All righty. I'm seeing lots of D's there. Yeah. D is the answer. All 50 states receive, and goodness, we've got some international now that Katie's over in Scotland.
Yeah, and a reminder to everybody that the digital version of Silk and Sonder is available internationally. So if you have coworkers or anyone, you can bring them on to the journey.
Absolutely. Oh, and I'm seeing folks are saying there some of them their state like yeah, we've got Alaska represented there. I love it. All those states. All right. So this is fun. Which publication named Silk and Sonder a top wellness journal? Was it People magazine, Pop Sugar, Forbes, or Goop? What do you think? A, B, C, or D? All righty. The answer, big deal.
I
Forbes.
think this is wrong.
Do you?
Yeah, I think my team messed up. It's actually B, Pop Sugar.
Okay, well, I
They
knew
rated us
pop
number one,
sugar.
wellness. Yeah. Unless
Okay,
we
it's a
were
trick
also in Forbes.
question.
I don't know.
Trick question. All righty. Okay, now no cheating, y'all. What comes before the habit tracker page? Is it your monthly reflections, or I'm sorry, A, your monthly intentions, B, your monthly reflections, C, your mood tracker, or D, your gratitude log? Yeah, I'm seeing. Oh, these are super users. It is. It's the mood tracker. See, we always do that mood tracker and then we take a look over at that habit tracker.
I
Good
always
job.
wish it was the reflections page because I always want to write my habits after the reflections
There you
page, but
go.
I won't change it.
All righty. And then what, see how well you know your product, your Silk and Sonder stuff. What product was co-created most with the community? Was it the Elevate Planner, Sonder Kids, the Life Workbook, or the sticker subscription? What do y'all think? Ooh, this one's kind of peppered there. I'm seeing B's, D's. The answer to that one is your Life Workbook.
It was the early adopters who felt like certain pages were missing, but they couldn't justify doing them every month. And so we took all of those and created the Life Workbook.
And made that life workbook, which is excellent. Go check it out. If you don't own your own life workbook, it's amazing. All righty. So this is fun. What was Daily Rituals originally designed to be? A 90-day system, a 21-day experiment, a weekend reset, or a yearly planner? What was the initial Daily Rituals purpose? Okay, I'm seeing lots of B's. All righty. Well, you know our founder well because she does like to do lots of experiments, throw it against the wall and see what sticks.
They always backfire though, in the best way possible
In the
because
it
then I
just ends
started
up being
doing them every day and then I stopped for a while and people were like, "We miss it." And so here we are.
I love it. I love it. Well, speaking of daily rituals, how many do we now have that are available? Is it A 500, B 980, C 1189, or over 1200? I'll let y'all answer that one. And the answer is yes, D, over 1200 daily rituals. Isn't that amazing? Okay, this is going deep. We've got a list of beautiful words here. Which is not one of the Silk and Sonder brand pillars? Is it creativity, connection, clarity, courage, or compassion? Which one do you think it is not? Oh, that one is hard. I agree, Sharon. All righty. Let's see if y'all are super users. Are you ready? The answer is D, courage. Courage is not. But man, we get so much courage through all the other pillars. I love that. Next question is which of these is part of Silk and Saunders' long-term vision? Personalized, always on coaching, wellness tools for every stage of life, kids through adults, building the most trusted home for mental fitness, or D, all of the above. You, there's no pulling the wool over y'all's eyes. You've got that one. Yeah, it's all of the above. So may have made reference to that at the front end of our conversation about this journal that covers everything in your life so that you can be so mentally well. So I love that. And we had asked Meha what kind of world she sees in the future. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, and sorry that this image is a little blurry. We literally screenshotted this because I just felt like I talk about this a lot internally at Silk and Sonder, but I haven't really shared it externally, even with the Sonder fam. And I talked about it, a question I think about a lot when I revisit my why, right? Because being a founder is really freaking hard. Being a founder and a mom is even harder. And I often come back to why am I doing this? What am I building this for? Who am I building this for? And what kind of world do I want to exist 50 years from now? And I think I talked about that, right? And this image or this collage really captures the type of world I want to exist, right? Obviously, technology is inundated into our lives, but I think what scares me is the idea that we can lose sight of what we want and who we actually are because we're glued to our phones. And I imagine this world where people are opting into gatherings where you're connecting, you're having deeper conversations, you're going through the airport or on campuses and you have this vending machine based on how you feel. You get a quick journal or some kind of product to help ground you. I think of creativity, right, as the unlock for so many things in life. And how do we scale Sonder socials virtually and in real life to have those spaces for creative expression and joy, the things that we did as little kids that we stopped doing after elementary school. And then more intentional family time, more intentional everything, right? Like whether you're alone you're with friends, you're with your family, you're with loved ones. How do we design those to be less small talk and more deep conversation and giving that ripple effect of helping others see the gifts that they have themselves? I think we all have gifts that we come into this world with, and so many of us stay lost and miss out. And I just really I want this world 50 years from now, 100 years from now to never lose sight of, being your authentic self, because that's really what's going to let your gifts shine through. And so that's really what this is
I love that. I think it's
about.
such an honor for all of us to say, we were there at the beginning and well, I won't be here in 50 years, but but to know the legacy that might have been changed, in just my own personal journey. I know that you all I see in the chat the things that you're already saying, oh, I'd love this, I love this. Keep those notes, send that to customer care. Let folks know they want your feedback. And that's what's going to grow Silk and Sonder into the next 50 years. So, another trivia question. Which of these is not a Silk and Sonder original framework or content? And those of you who are super users are aware of all these terms. So, is it the Saboteur's assessment, the cognitive distortions assessment, daily rituals, or Sonder socials? All righty. Oh, this one's a little kind of popping all over. Let's see. That would be the saboteur's assessment. That was not part of the original framework of Silk and Sonder. That comes from the positive psychology group,
Yeah,
correct?
positive intelligence. Yeah.
Oh, positive
Yeah.
intelligence, yes. But man, it has sure driven a lot of us to recognize some things in us. All right. Next question. Which of these has not been pitched as a future Silk and Sonder idea? An oracle deck, kids routine builder, luxury spa line, or a vision board mirror. Okay. Lots of A's I'm seeing there. All right. The answer to that one is a luxury spa line. So, Mayal, do you want to speak to any of these kind of ideas that might be coming down the pipe? Y'all are
Yeah.
the
Well, I'll tell
first to
you why
know.
we're not doing a luxury spa line, because that's just way too much work and operationally a nightmare. Um, I think like our twist on an Oracle deck would be so fun. I mean, we're going to be doing this on Sonder Coach digitally, but I think a physical situation would be really fun. Less woo and more like actionable and through in true Silk and Sonder fashion. I just love our Sonder Kids line, and I'm thinking, beyond just the journal, how do we teach kids in a non-digital way? I laugh when I see people saying like, if we never get rid of the daily or the planner. Like, obviously not. I'm a pen to paper kind of person. So, more analog tools on their way. And the vision board mirror is kind of a logistical nightmare, but I just had this idea of, like seeing yourself in the future would be so freaking cool and fun and like manifesty. And if we could swing it, like it could be a high-end product that we offer at Silk and Sonder that makes the media go wild, but also helps all of us look forward and see where we're headed.
Gosh, I love being privy to some of these dreams. That's very exciting. And yeah, I'm here. Lots of people are going Oracle deck, Oracle deck.
I know. All
I
right,
think,
that's great. If y'all will buy it, I will build it, because that's my biggest block. If
oh, that,
nobody
that would be
wants
great
it.
little stocking stuffers. Talk
Yeah,
about gifting small ways.
totally.
So that was one. Okay, so how did y'all do? Is there anybody here who got like I got them all, or were you like oh, I got most of them? Let us know. Drop in the chat how you did with this. That
I
most,
also
yeah.
am loving, okay, I've heard Silk and Sonder Summit, I've heard Silk and Sonder Cruise. To me, my dream was always to build like a brand like Disney, like just do everything and make it magical. So the fact that people are into cafes and cruises and summits, looking for volunteers if anyone wants to help make any of that happen,
I'll
because
go on a
I will
cruise.
go on a Silk and Sonder cruise. That will be amazing. Just not whatever
Oh,
princess cruise or whatever that was that gave us all COVID, but
yeah,
that's
we
a
don't want we
separate.
don't want
Yeah.
that. Well, good job. I hope some of y'all are feeling like pretty, you're a super user and you got that. So, of course, we are together tonight, and whenever we're together, we're going to talk about our journeys. We're going to do some reflection. And so now we've got some reflection time for you. So I hope you have your journal, and that you've got a pen, your paper, you're ready to go. We want you to look back over your own journey. And we've got some ponderings for you this evening. So we'd love to invite you to sit with your Sonder family. I'm going to put on some music as we explore things like, before I joined Silk and Sonder, I was feeling. I love that question because y'all know I've shared with you before I was a early retiree bumping around. I didn't have my rhythms and routines anymore. And so, oh, what a difference it made for me to be able to have that tool. One part of using Silk and Sonder that felt challenging or uncomfortable for the first time was, because of my Silk and Sonder practice, I now trust myself more with. I can't wait to see what you share in the chat. I want to know, what you see there. A way I show up differently today is, and what excites me about continuing my self-care journey with Silk and Sonder is. So I'm going to put on some music and give you time to think about these questions and write down some of your thoughts as you celebrate at this birthday party this evening. And of course, we want you to share with one another. One of the things I think is a big gift that came out of Silk and Sonder is just like tonight. You're here, your community, you know each other. I've seen all these questions. How you doing? How are you doing? I've been thinking about you. Such a beautiful, beautiful thing. So let's just spend a few minutes, pen to paper, going back to the roots, and share in the chat as things pop up for you as you explore these questions in your life. Wow, you guys are amazing. We're seeing so much growth. You've shared in the chat your journey. Beautiful, beautiful stories. I saw somebody say, "May, are you crying yet?"
I am. And please, 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 if you did answer all these questions and you don't feel comfortable sharing on Sonder Club, which I hope you do feel comfortable, email me. I would love to just, I always come back to those types of stories when I feel stuck or stressed or overwhelmed. So it really helps me as a founder. So my eyes are watering up. I'm just, I had a lot of tears this year, so trying to keep it together.
Lots of tears of joy. We have one little final closing, and y'all are going to want to stick around because we've got some codes for you as well. But I know we're going over by a couple of minutes, but we do want to make some birthday wishes tonight. So we'll continue our reflection. And we'd like you to consider if this season of your life right now were a theme. The theme would be what? Share that. What is your favorite thing about Silk and Sonder? Your favorite thing about Silk and Sonder. And then what is a birthday wish you have for Silk and Sonder this year? And I'll put a little smidge of music on while you answer these questions. Please write them in your journal, but also share them with your community. And then we'll be back to close out our party time. Mayha, I don't think you're going to have to sit with headquarters and come up with themes. I
I
see
don't think so either. I
lots
feel
of
like I need
great
to
themes.
outsource. I mean, I always thought about how amazing would it be to build a company where the community helps everything,
I
like
mean,
it's,
yeah, I think you've got your themes for the next few years. Those are
I
amazing.
love it.
Thank you so much for sharing, Sonder family. Thank you for coming and joining this celebration. A reminder, you are going to be able to rewatch this and get those positive vibes. And we have a birthday sale for you Uh, you're going to see Maya post the link in the chat. So capture that and you can go hang out in our on our website and see what you might be missing from your personal collection or maybe what you want to pay forward to someone in your life, somebody who loves you and that you love them back by giving them some Silk and Sonder love. So we want to just thank you, community, for hanging out tonight, celebrating. Again, I got my woo, we're celebrating 7 years of Silk and Sonder. Some of you have been there from the get-go. And here's to another 7 years. Any final words, Maya?
No, I think keep your ideas coming. If you want to be a volunteer to help make anything happen, that's the best way to like do it faster than waiting for HQ to prioritize it. Also, one thing that is always an afterthought for us at Silk and Sonder, but something I just wish we made more time for was swag and merch. And so, you all represent Silk and Sonder's essence. You are everywhere in your life, and that's a great way to spread the word. And so if there's a swag thing that you want, let us know. Let us know the slogan or the punchline or whatever, and we can make those types of things happen. So our team is, lean but mighty, and the more that we can lean on all of you, the faster we can make things happen. So thank you all so much. Thank you for believing in yourself, because by believe, isn't that our theme? Is that our theme this month? It is, right?
Believe,
Believe. By
believe.
believing in yourself, you may not realize it, but you really, I'm gonna get emotional talking about this, but you believe in me. And I wasn't expecting to cry on our birthday, but I just I really can't say this enough, but having so many women support a small girl's big dream means the world. And I appreciate each and every one of you. And thank you for believing in our mission, because it's really hard to build a business and it's really hard to sell things, especially when people can't always afford things. And I just really appreciate all of you for sticking with us and coming back even when you've had to leave Silk and Sonder. So really grateful to have built the community that I needed to belong to.
I love it. Your Sonder family saying it's your party. You can cry if you want to. Sonder family, thank you. Happy birthday, Silk and Sonder.
And wait, one thing, Jenna,
Well,
if it just to add a little light piece, yesterday we tried to do a smash cake with Anaya and she just started crying. So,
like,
it's a thing, like daughter,
yeah, like
like
mother, like
mommy.
daughter. Bye,
Thank you
Sonder
all.
family. Thanks for being with us.